Welcome, Aquarius. This reading is for people who would like to know what the purpose of a connection is. In other words, if you're tempted to ask, why is this person in my life? Am I supposed to be with them? What was I supposed to learn, if anything? Why is this person showing up in my life? Why did they? So it could be in the past or present. So what I'd like you to do is just pause for a moment, take about 7 seconds out to choose the person that you would like to understand why they are in your life. I'll give you about 7 seconds. All right, so we're going to start with an oracle card. Can we have a hint before we get into the tarot? The person that Aquarius was just thinking of. Why is that person? Why did that person show up in Aquarius's life? Why did that person show up? Why did that person show up in Aquarius's life? Why did that person show up? What is the purpose? What is the purpose of this person? Emotions, and at the bottom of the deck we have Kintsugi. I'm going to have to get one more. I'm going to get one from the, why did this person, what is the purpose of this connection, please? Creation of the flames of destruction will ignite a rebirth. Okay, that tells us a lot. And I'm going to get one more. I'm going to be brave and go to the what deck is this called? This is the Soulmate cards deck. Can we have a hint about why this person came into Aquarius's life, please? Why? Okay. In order to cope with separation from a loved one, we need to realize that spiritually, we are always connected to those we love. Neither distance nor time can separate that which is united by love. Remember that distance and time are both aspects are both limitations of the 3D. They're not in the quantum, so that tells me that this could be a twin flame connection, and somebody could be experimenting and asking to be tested as to whether or not they could recognize their twin flame creation. The flames of destruction will ignite a rebirth. This is definitely about a twin flame union, but it looks like perhaps there's a need to extinguish some kind of lower vibrational energy in order to bring this union together. The flames of destruction, that could be ego burning or ego death that needs to occur in one or both of you. Somebody may need to learn to rely on their feelings and their heart and not their mind. I know that this has to do with some kind of a crack or an imperfection that is fixed, or something that is perfect despite a crack. I'm just going to double check that. Stand by, guys. This is looking really interesting. Well, not exactly about fixing a crack. In fact, it's more about appreciating the beauty in oneself with the crack being there. So now, in terms of a scarred heart, Kintsugi would be to appreciate the beauty in the fact that you've, survived whatever heartbreak you've gotten over, and to heal it and to appreciate the whole experience of it. What did you learn? There is an emphasis on self-love, and because often the lesson there is to, and self-love does not mean, putting yourself as is more important than other people, but what it means is having empathy and love, empathy mainly for oneself. Love for oneself, I don't like using that term because a lot of people say, oh, they really love themselves in a negative, sarcastic way. What I mean by self-love is having empathy for your own needs, being able to realize that having empathy for yourself, when you're hungry, you should have some food to eat, to feel sorry for yourself, but not in, I don't mean to wallow, but to care and have concern and empathy for yourself and realize that you are just like the little baby that was just born, that, I'm sure you would agree with me that little baby who is cold and scared and lonely and probably hungry, I know that you would agree with me that baby deserves a little cuddle and some company and someone who is happy that the baby showed up, and that if the baby is hungry, that they should be fed on a regular basis without, having a bottle shoved into their mouth so that there's bruises all over their mouth. That they call that rough feeding in child protection. That is where all these cracks begin. So it's once you've gotten to a point where you've been through experiences like that, where you were not shown love, and it's simply because the person caring for that baby didn't have it for themselves. So, as you can see, at the end of the day, it has nothing to do with whether or not the little baby deserved it. Of course, the baby deserved care and concern and a regular schedule and gentleness and peace, and love, companionship. So what happens is when we've been through a number of negative experiences, we end up thinking that we're not good people, that there's a reason why people were mean to us, that there's a reason why we were hurt. So that is why people go around needing a girlfriend or needing a boyfriend or needing friends, needing approval, need, and they end up feeling empty if they don't have people filling them up all the time. So a person like that might kind of, maybe they're too clingy in a relationship and they might get dumped. Okay. And so what they have to understand is it had absolutely nothing to do with whether or not that relationship could have worked or whether or not that person, could have been madly in love with that person. But because they did not fill up their own, they didn't nourish their own heart first, they had really nothing to give without conditions. They wanted to take. And so then that, leads to clingy behavior, which leads to somebody really not being themselves. And so it's easy for someone to get dumped when they're acting, in that way. Anyway, it's you can see a complete and total metamorphosis in a person who's been through that and who is able to see that it really didn't have anything to do with them. It started with their own, energetically, they needed to take energy from others. They didn't have any, they weren't generating any love to give. So once that person goes through, their journey, which could be quite rough and time consuming if they allow themselves to do the work, and they don't rebound and jump from relationship to and not do the inner work. If they allow themselves to be at peace, accept it, and go through the journey, the unbelievable pride in oneself, that person will never again have to, everyone will be vying for them. But so this person might look like this. So, there's a crack, but it means that they survived an incredible battle. Maybe this is a surfer lady who got, who, while she was in some kind of a, in the middle of some surfing incident, got her arm. She survived a shark attack, and she's proud of this. It's always really fun to hear people who've been through extreme accidents and they've survived, and they're proudly showing off their scars. And here's where I survived at this, and they're proud. So, all right. So there's an idea here. Why is this person in your life? So this may be the reason. Maybe they, perhaps one of them needs to learn to love themselves despite some imperfection. Perhaps so this could lead to a myriad of circumstances. Maybe someone is rejecting another person because they don't look perfect, because of a physical imperfection. Maybe they need to learn that. It could just be where there's a terrible breakup and a terrible rejection, and somebody, the lesson that they needed to learn was self-love. Perhaps that person was truly their twin flame, but because they hadn't healed themselves, it was not possible for the union to come together. Maybe that's your person. The other thing that this could be is a past life connection. Neither distance nor time can separate that which is united by love. So this could be, if there are blocks in the way or cracks, what could be happening here is that this could be a twin flame union that is coming together anyway. Creation, the flames of destruction, maybe things perhaps in a previous lifetime. This could just be the ashes to ashes, the flames of destruction will ignite a rebirth. This could be, going from the manifest to the unmanifest, from the living to the unliving, from the unmanifest to the manifest. Or it could be that something needs to be rebuilt. The flames of destruction could be the tower. It could be that an accident, a huge tower where, someone may lose a limb or something. Perhaps that event, which seems like such a disaster, is actually a victory, a triumph, because it's igniting a rebirth in love. It's the idea of emotions here. And there is a jellyfish. You'll see all sorts of literature that says that jellyfish don't have brains and they don't have a heart. But if you look at the most recent scientific studies, they are finding that not only are they intelligent, but they do have feelings. They can go into panic mode. They are also, some types of jellyfish are immortal. If you don't believe me, look it up. They have a way of, first of all, some of them, if you cut them in half, they can clone themselves and regenerate. But I'm just going to see if I can find the article on the immortal jellyfish. One moment. This is not hocus pocus. All right, so it's actually called the immortal jellyfish. They were discovered in 1883 in the Mediterranean Sea. They begin life as larvae that develop into a type of soft coral that then, up until they reach 1 centimeter in diameter, and then they evolve into a jellyfish. Now, then they, swim around, and if they are injured or entering old age or feeling threatened, they can attach themselves to a rock or other surface and start to transform back into the type of soft coral, which they call a polyp, P-O-L-Y-P. It's like the old man becoming a child again. With this power, immortal jellyfish can make tons of exact copies of themselves. Though most are genetically identical, some have changed their bodies to suit different environments. For example, some immortal jellyfish living in warmer waters have fewer tentacles than their colder water counterparts. Amazing. But I think the interesting point, though, the idea of immortality could be this idea of, the twin flames having, you and your person having been together in a past life and being reborn again. But I think also here, the fact that this being is intelligent and emotional, and it reacts when it's feeling threatened, and yet it appears to have no heart and no brain. One becomes immortal, yet it's only running on on perception, on these feelings, on these there's also something about the wavelengths of light. I do believe that jellyfish have tons and tons of eyes. I think we're not certain about what they can perceive with their eyes, just because there hasn't been enough studies on it. If you happen to know whether or not they can perceive ultraviolet light, something that we can, please put a comment down below. All right, let's start the reading. All right, so Spirit, can we see why is this person in Aquarius's life? What is the purpose? Why is this person in Aquarius's life? Why? What's the purpose of this connection, please, Spirit? And 2 more hard and then 2 soft. Spirit, what is the purpose of this connection? What is the purpose? Why is this person in Aquarius's life? Okay, so 2 more soft. Show us why they are in Aquarius's life, please. And thank you for the information. Why are they in Aquarius's life, please? Okay, here we go. Oh, wow. Holy moly. Look at this. Wow. Holy moly. So I asked why this person was in your life. And the answer has to do with a person feeling in a deep state of regret and sorrow, deep emotional loss. And they could be regretting an ending or regretting a death. On the other side, we have, this could be a number of things. If it's the Grim Reaper, some people believe that the Grim Reaper carries out a good function, which is to help sever the soul from the body, so that it can get into the afterlife. Others believe that this card has to do with someone coming back to get revenge. There is a religious person there pleading with the Grim Reaper with respect to that was supposed to have been a very evil French king, who had all the Masons slaughtered. The Knights Templar slaughtered, who were in fact Freemasons. There's a child there that's just really in awe and is not afraid of the Grim Reaper. The child is just very interested and in awe of what's going on. And there's a woman here she's kind of like, I can't look at this. This woman reminds me of someone who's watching somebody get karma for something bad that they did, and she can't even look. Maybe somebody really deserved it, but she still can't look at it. So one thing that is possible is that perhaps you are like this person who is pleading, praying that the Grim Reaper doesn't come, because in the malevolent, negative interpretation of the Grim Reaper comes at any time to take the soul from the body, and someone has no control over the timing of their death, and we're not sure where the soul is going there. So maybe that's you feeling sorry that the person, feeling sorry for the person that they screwed up. And perhaps you're the one pleading with the Grim Reaper. Perhaps you're simply here to save their soul. Literally, I feel like this person was very selfish. A lot of Scorpio energy there, by the way, in Pisces. Why is this person in Aquarius's lifetime? Yeah, look at the major arcana here. This could very well be a wake-up call, a spiritual lesson. The sun is shining, turning on the lights. It's very powerful energy. Those could be, It's extremely healing energy. It could be there could easily be a spiritual lesson here. There's death and transformation here, and a massive realization. Perhaps this person needs to have a massive realization prior to their death. An ending, by the way, here is associated with freedom, happiness. Perhaps what I was speaking about a moment ago, perhaps the ending, perhaps this connection was meant to end, and one of you is learning a huge lesson that frees you. It's very freeing and inspirational and healing. Look at how happy and free that child is. Perhaps the ending was meant to set you free, for you to lose your fear of anything, lose your fear of death. Perhaps you love this person so much that, when you lost them, you thought, well, you know what? If I lost the person that I'm so in love with, I don't care anymore. I don't even care. I'm not afraid of anything now, because, if I can survive losing the person that I love the most, then then I'm not afraid of anything, because, that actually does happen. That's when you deeply, deeply, love someone and you've lost them for good, and you've gotten over it. That can be so painful that if you've managed to heal yourself and you've gotten through that, you realize, wow, if I survived the loss of that person, the person that was so important to me, I'm free, because I just don't care anymore. I'm just going to nothing. I'm not afraid of anything anymore, because I just survived the worst thing that I thought could possibly happen. So perhaps losing, you could switch it around. This person may need to lose you in order to, to have this transformation, to have this wake-up call. This person down here who was on the ground was very cruel. That was a very cruel king. Actually, guys, one thing that's interesting is that the sun in the death card is extremely important. So there we have the sun. The sun is right there as well. The sun in the death card, I don't know how my camera is going to turn this around, but it's rising in the east. So it's morning. This is dawn. So what the spiritual lesson could be is that, an ending. Geez, it could literally be the flames of destruction will ignite a rebirth. Anyway, do you see those two pillars there? I don't know how much this is focusing here. Those two gray pillars are the same pillars that are in the moon card, by the way. If we get the Empress, believe it or not, a lot of time for a pregnancy or a child being born, a lot of times I get the death card. And for death, I get judgment. It's like, and the world, I get the world a lot for an actual death. And for a rebirth or a baby being born, I sometimes get death, but there could easily be. So the purpose of the connection may be to have a child. But I feel like it is enlightenment and spiritual enlightenment, a gateway to freedom and happiness because of an ending. Because you see, beyond these pillars, the ending actually leads to a new day, a rebirth. What is the purpose of this connection? I mean, it could be a rebirth of a connection, but it could be that the end of the connection. All right, now, good Lord. So there's some kind of a reveal here. And have a look at this. This is a plan. It's to build this. These two people are seeking advice from this expert on whether or not this can be built, whether or not their plan or this may be you and your person in a past life. Just looking at the, I'm just looking at the style of clothing here. There may have been something you were trying to build in a past life. It could be simpler than this. It could just be that someone needs to realize that they shouldn't be relying on the advice of others. Or show me more. What is the purpose of this connection, please? No, there is some kind of a truth here. So over here, this is somebody who was expressing some kind of an opinion or giving advice on this plan. Now, this can be three people who are working together. They're literally collaborating. This person, I'm actually not sure what that person is doing. They could be trying to break into something. But over here, there is somebody who is seeking a truth. And this person is, you know, this is a different kind of an activity here. This person is being guided by spirit, being guided by true enlightenment. Over here, people are being guided by a person. And it's just flicked over here. Wow, look at this. Talk about the flames of destruction will ignite a rebirth. This is a rebirth. Look, I'm just going to say very simply here, there is a truth about the ability of spirit to bring a dead body back to life. If you don't believe me, there are many documented cases of people, and I'm not kidding, literally to the fright of everyone, literally coming back to life in a morgue. There are documented cases of this. Here in in North America, there's a well-documented case of somebody who was dead for a full 45 minutes, and they were waiting to take him to the morgue. That's a bloody miracle. That shouldn't be happening, right? Science tells us it's not physically possible. So, this could be somebody, relying on, could be a doctor saying that's not possible. Maybe that's what one of you thought. And over here, someone is learning that, with God, all things are possible. What is the purpose? What is the purpose? Why is this person in Aquarius's life, please? One person may have been very selfish. The other person may have been relying on interior vision. One person may have just wanted peace. Somebody, this person may be in your life. Maybe what you're supposed to do is block them out. This person is being very selfish. Why? Why is this person? Maybe to learn something, maybe for you to learn something. Oh God, there's a King of Cups. Okay, so I do believe that there's somebody over here who has a lot of love for you, but it looks like this person is very selfish. If you look at all there are actually 10 cups here. There's 9 there, and the last cup is in his hand. That's a cup he's supposed to be giving to you or she. Why is this person in Aquarius's life? Yeah. Perhaps in a previous lifetime, I always look at the Justice card as what we're really facing when we get to the lobby. If we're lucky enough for our souls to get to that holding area, it's the decision made here. And this is not spirit. It's not God, by the way. I don't believe God is up here praying for you. This is the decision maker about whether or not you get to reincarnate and what happens, and that's what I believe, or whether you're stuck in the bloody chasm. Show me, why is this person in Aquarius' life? It could be to make things right. I believe it is. Yeah, because that's a new start. To learn, so that's a balance here. So the Two of Cups is a brand new start, all right? In this card, however, both people are equally, they're capable. The reason why they're a perfect blend is because they both have enough self-love and self-care that they're not afraid of losing. They're not afraid of giving unconditionally, because they're not afraid of getting hurt, because they have unconditional love, and they also have unconditional love for themselves. What does that mean? It means they're not afraid of getting rejected or hurt, because they have enough love for themselves that they realize that's not because of a lack in me. I mean, I know I'm not asking you to be a robot or anything. I'm not saying you can't be hurt. But, it's normal to feel a little heartbreak when something doesn't work out. But, if you have enough empathy for yourself and love for yourself, you will realize that you will heal yourself, and any part of you that is feeling rejection or hurt, it will be easily healed, because you'll be able to realize, wait a minute, I'm worthy of love. That just has to do with circumstance. If that person didn't find me attractive, that's fine, because I know I'm worthy. That the other person has every right to, to be happy, just as I have a right to choose the person that I, yeah, there's a transfer. There is definitely a rebirth. Okay, I think we have the answer to the question. This person is here to give this a second shot, okay? The flames of destruction will ignite a rebirth. It's either that, or this is a connection. There's something about a complete and total utter ending, of utter transformation. To transform in love, to transform emotionally, to become less. The transformation that's going on here is the one that I was just talking about. It's the Two of Cups. I just realized what this could be. There could be a higher purpose associated with this. So it's possible with the Judgment card, and where justice was there, that literally somebody managed to convince whatever that spiritual decision is that's made before someone reincarnates. Maybe you were able to work a miracle for your person. Maybe you were able to save this person's soul. But what looks like I'm seeing a reincarnation of a pair. And these are two people who are working together. So this may not be a romantic connection. The purpose of this person in your life may be for you two, because you are the perfect combination. Because remember, those two people are normally working. It's a perfect combination. It works together. It's generally that it's in commerce, but believe it or not. But if it's in love, or it doesn't matter what area it's in, this could be for you and this person to realize a higher goal. In other words, it could be, generally it's the perfect couple, Lord of Love, the perfect exchange, the perfect combination of masculine and feminine energies, or whatever perfect combination this is. a couple working together to achieve some kind of a higher purpose. And this is a new beginning here. The towers in this, the sun behind those two towers. It's, people often call it a portal or pillars, but what's beyond it is the unknown. The towers are the boundaries, of the unknown. So, we are going beyond the boundaries of the known, into the unknown here. It's like the impossible immortal jellyfish. That's all I can say. Let's get one last split. Boy, this is very vague in general. Hopefully you're figuring it out. Are we allowed to see? I mean, it could be that this, in order to get this person to this could be an ego death that allows the connection to work. So the purpose of this person coming into your life could be that one of you needs to have an ego death. That's just one of the possible meanings. What is the purpose of this connection, please? It could be an ego death, absolutely. So for many of you, it is an ego death because that's low vibrational behavior. Yeah, there's the King of Cups. So maybe somebody has to give up a drinking habit or an anger. Somebody has some kind of anger management. Someone has to go beyond this. Yeah, so this person normally deals with the material only, And somebody here is looking at things that don't really, they could be imagining something or they could be seeing something, they could be, this person could simply, this person here could be making this error. This person could be so distracted by material things that here they may be choosing, or they may have made an error in the past. Notice how there's the divine masculine, by the way. Perhaps in a past life they've made an error of choosing somebody who looked glittery. They learned that they had to look beyond the physical. Yeah, that could be it. That could be their lesson. Oh, I think it is. I think it's a lesson for the masculine, okay? So that could be, if you're in a same-sex couple, that could be a woman, but it's the masculine energy in the relationship. And they have to learn to look beyond they have to stop judging a book by its cover, basically, to be very, to use some slang there, and to look within. Remember that the hermit's eyes are closed. They're not using the lantern to light the way. The lantern actually is the Star of David. They're using their knowledge, their trust in God, their wisdom. And I think that the purpose of this person in your life. So remember, it's not, wow, there's the spiritual completion right there. Wow. Well, there you have it. So the purpose of this connection, it could very well be that the only way for them, it's a spiritual lesson. So it is not, notice how we did not see any cards of, it could be that you're supposed to come together romantically, but it's more that they are learning what is required for a connection to work. It's a spiritual completion. That is the main, so it could very well be a twin flame, but who is Daniela, I can't remember the name of her channel. I watch it all the time. Just a minute now. Goddess energy, as she is always reminding us, the purpose is not the union. The main purpose of twin flame connections is exactly this, to learn, spiritual ascensions. Just a moment now. I'm just going to get you a little quote for that. Aquarius, there's something really important here. You could be in the final stages of a massive spiritual completion here. So in other words, maybe an ending of this love connection or, a transformation of this love connection. There's something about the purpose of this person in your life, and it's related to a final spiritual completion here with the world, because here is someone who has gained an enormous amount of wisdom. And what's been the spiritual completion here, the world, that is the final stage of spiritual, unfolding. All, feelings of separateness, all the earthly attachments have been shed. It's huge. So if this connection was very, if it was heartbreaking or traumatic, it was meant for you to, to learn that you don't need, this person, or you don't, or whatever you learned. I'm not saying that it had to end in, something traumatic, but there's something about this person, an ending or a transformation that relates to somebody's spiritual completion. I believe that this is yours, your spiritual completion, because if your person is in the fives, I don't think they're at this stage. Okay, so it could be that their behavior in the Five of Swords there, that's very low vibrational. So perhaps you are learning, that this has nothing to do with your self-worth or your ability to take, a risk in love again, or, what have you. It could be that you're working together, you and this person, to do something for the world, literally, to guide and teach others in relation to some kind of a massive ascension, spiritual ascension, that you're working on together. This would not relate to any particular religion, by the way, because know that one of the messages in the World card is that in order to attain this spiritual completion, one has to be open to all philosophies of quote unquote God, Allah, Buddha, Krishna. So if these are two people who are in in one of these really, specific religions, that this is not what this means at all. Okay, these are people who would not judge others. They would not ascribe to any particular religion. That this is this kind of one true thread thing. You remember that we had the Judgment card a minute ago, and if you ever wonder why the bodies are gray while they're coming out of the coffin, it's because they have achieved wisdom. Gray, connotes the idea of wisdom in tarot. Let's just see if we can get one more split. Is there anything else you'd like Aquarius to know about this person and why they are in Aquarius's life? Well, this was an interesting little comment. For many of you, it's so you have to put up these boundaries here. See these boundaries? It may be necessary, for you to do that. And the reason why is this person has done something. Yeah, this could be some kind of abuse of power here. There could be others watching you. See, they may not have, in whatever they've just ended, whatever they ended prior to you. What is the purpose of, I just need to clarify this a little bit further. Yeah. Look, this connection may need to end. Because there's something toxic that has to, for many of you guys, this is somebody that you need. You could be very much in love with this person. It could be, you may be in a situation where you literally have to cut off a twin flame. And it's because there's something There's some kind of negative energy that it has to do with something that they didn't finish before they came to you. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So, the wisest thing to do in this situation may be to end things. You will be able to use your discernment. How will you know that? You will already know. Your intuition will tell you. So if you don't have any idea what this is, it's not your reading. Or if this element, if this part of the reading is not resonating, it's time to hit the road. I do feel like, look at the Fool's Journey. Guys, do you realize we have the beginning of the Major Arcana, card 0, and the last card in the Major Arcana, card 22. This is incredible. And that's you, the Fool. That's incredible. The twin flame journey, you completed it. You have completed it successfully, whether you stay with this person or not. You may feel, that there's a risk, involved here, but, it looks to me like, you in taking on the energy of the Fool and being courageous enough, to end this. I believe that you are capable of ending. I just don't see you as being in any vulnerable position here. All right. Because you're aligned with the sun, with truth, and, you have completed the spiritual journey. Okay. All right. Let me just get one more message of advice from Spirit. I just saw 333. Can we have one more message of advice regarding this person? There it is. Wow. Okay. Dwelling on the past and future keeps me from experiencing the power of now. I make a conscious choice to be present. I accept love now. I am grateful for your love. Now, I feel like that's your conversation with Spirit. You see, you already have this love. Make a conscious choice to be present. Let's get one little chakra card to see if we can. Accepting love now also has to do with, self-acceptance or that something's coming in very soon for you. Okay, let's see what we have here. Yes, forgiveness. You'll find freedom in forgiveness. So look at that beautiful color there. You're definitely very free in that Fool's card. All right, guys. Sorry it was so long. Let me know if it resonated. Thanks for watching.